Hi, I'm Dr. Elizabeth Paris, and today I'm taking you into the museum collections of the Department of Anthropology and Archaeology, specifically the Latin American collection. I'm a Mesoamericanist archaeologist, which means that I work in the area from about central Mexico down to lower Central America, and my focus is on the Maya civilization. It excites me to be able to combine three things that I really love, which is science, history, and culture. And I think archaeology is a really great blend of all of those things. You get to contribute to the knowledge that we know about the ancient world, including things that may have been lost or forgotten. So I'm going to be speaking about some of my favorite objects in the Glenbow collection. This here is one of our Colima dog sculptures. Just like today, dogs were companions. They also fulfilled some roles in certain ceremonies. The people of West Mexico were making their ceramics in these gorgeous, lifelike poses. So that suggests that the people who made these sculptures spent a lot of time with dogs and had a great sense of the range of behaviors and poses and emotions. We are really interested in understanding when and where different specialized dog breeds came into being in ancient Mesoamerica. There are elements of their bone chemistry where we can look at that chemistry and match it to the underlying bedrock of different areas of Mesoamerica, and that helps us to know where different dogs might have been from and if they were traded. Our next object is a conch shell trumpet. If I turn this around, you can actually see the stops where people could have covered with their fingers to produce different tones and different sounds. And this would have been more of a status object that would have been used by rulers, families of rulers, priests for some of the most important ceremonies. There's just all different designs that ancient people would carve into them that were symbolic for that group of people. This particular example has some canids, either domestic dogs or maybe coyotes or wolves. So you can see one face here that's taking advantage of the natural shell form itself. And then we have another one over on this side. Now this is a queen conch. This was one of the most prized and sought after, both for its size and also the beautiful colors, which unfortunately are a little bit faded. It's gotten burned at one point in its life history, creating all these cracks and discolorations. But we can know that when it was at the height of its use, it was a very special, sacred object. Something that's very important in my own research is understanding the relationship between valuable objects on the one hand and currency on the other. Your currency might actually be something that you can wear day to day. It might be an ornament. It might be something that you could wear as a pendant on a necklace. But if times got hard, it would also have a specific exchange value. One of the simplest forms of currency were small shell beads like the ones here. Then you could have slightly larger denominations. One of the ways that we know this really specific form of currency is that the apex is removed by sawing it. Around the same time, you start getting greenstone. Jade and jadeite are really valuable, associated with the first cities, the first rulers, the first long-distance trade. Ancient royalty would often wear very large ear spools made out of the most precious materials. And in fact, by the time we get to the Aztec Empire, there are actually something called sumptuary laws, where only the emperor could wear jewelry made out of certain materials. And I like to joke, the larger the ear spools, the closer to the gods. But we also find very tiny beads like this that are made out of jade and jadeite that would have been potentially used as currency. By the time we get to the post-classic period, you start to have the distribution of metal currency like axe money. So these could be stacked with about 13 or so in a stack. 13 was good luck in ancient Mesoamerican cultures. And then if you had to buy something that was of smaller value, you could separate them out and you could trade them individually for different things. Or they could melt them down into smaller denominations like little copper jingle bells. Archaeology now is really different than the way that we did archaeology 50, 70 years ago. Archaeology now is much more collaborative, does a better job of working with communities, including Indigenous communities, descent communities all over the world, to make sure that that heritage is fully known and explored and contribute to really important conversations about the world that we live in today.